guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Lauren. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having an amazing day. Today we're going to be doing a new beauty launches. It's time to go through the new releases, see what's out. I have been completely distracted and completely removed from really anything new. I feel like that's like my intro for these videos for like the last month, but that's the truth. I don't really know what's out, so I'm excited to go through. Hopefully I'll like something that's out. I kind of miss having a little bit of spark of excitement, although I did just get the Huda palette and I'm really enjoying that, so I can hold on to that for a little bit. Anyway, we're gonna get into it all, but before we do, I want to thank today's sponsor, Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community where people can come together to continue their creative journey. Skillshare offers classes for all skill levels and they can fit into any schedule, whether you are interested in illustration, photography, film and video, or want to craft. Skillshare's classes are a great way to stay curious and explore new skills. With thousands of classes and new premium classes launching all the time, there are so many paths for your curiosity to take you down. Recently, I decided to give a class about decorating small spaces a shot. If you guys don't know, I am moving or have moved. I'm in a new space, new background, everything. And one of the really big and kind of scary elements of this move was we were moving from like a full house back down to an apartment, and it was a lot of space to eliminate. And I decided to take a class on Skillshare. This one, let me get the exact name as always. This is Erica Fogelman's Everything Small Home Design course. And she goes through different tips and tricks on how to make your space look bigger, ways to design it. And I enjoyed this class because I tend to be okay design-wise visually, but I don't really know why things work or don't work. And going to a smaller space, I just felt like I needed some pointers. So I really enjoyed some of the tips about lighting, about rugs. I gotta figure out my rug situation. Also open shelving and just ways that you can make your space work for you. Have all like the things you need, the storage that you need while also still looking good. And that was really important to me with this move. And it was fun to actually focus on something other than the stressful parts of my move. So I really enjoyed the class. I thought she had a lot of great tips and it was a good one. So you can definitely check that one out. There are so many other classes though on Skillshare, of course, if you guys want to check it out. The first 1,000 people to click the link down below will get a month free of Skillshare Premium, so you can try it out. And thank you so much to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. And as always, thank you so much for you guys and your support. I appreciate it so, so much. But now let's get into the new launches. Okay, I just saw this picture from Angelica's feed, and these are from Gloss Gods. One is called Gal on Mars and one is called Gal on the Moon. I want these. These are really beautiful. They're all shimmer palettes, which I love. One's more cool toned and like blues and purples and greens, and one is more like pinks and purples and kind of neutral bronzies as well. Very excited. I will be looking, I don't think she has a review up yet, but I will be looking out for that on her channel. Really pretty. And you know, I love an all shimmer, so starting off strong, yeah. I'm excited to like get back into, you know, beauty and filming and all the stuff that I love to do and not be so distracted by like everything else in my life. It'll be fun, let me tell you. Anyway, if you guys know anything about that brand, let me know. This is a new product from Mel Cosmetics. There are some highlighters coming out. You guys know I'm a sucker for highlighters, so these are definitely intriguing to me. The packaging looks really nice as well, where they're kind of like white and gold, so that's definitely intriguing. I haven't tried a ton from Mel Cosmetics actually. It's like always something that I think of fondly, but never actually like pull the trigger on and purchase. So I'm not sure if I'll get them, but they look beautiful and they're tempting for sure. There are 4 different shades and I think the lightest one is the one I'd probably go with. They look almost like a baked formula as well, which does get me excited. There's some new Disney brush collections with Spectrum. I think that Spectrum is the brand that did the Wizard Mickey, I don't know, the one in Fantasia. I think that they had done a collab with that in brushes in the past, so it looks like they're just kind of expanding. There's Marie from the Aristocats, there's Minnie, there's Cruella. Oh, and that's kind of cute. The Cruella has like the split hair, like black and white, you know. There's the Evil Queen from Snow White, and then Ursula, it seems. Brushes are just usually pretty much a tool. Like it's just a tool to get the look. I'd rather spend my money and have the nice stuff for the eyeshadows, the actual powders, that type of stuff overall, I would say. So these are definitely not something that tend to tempt me. They don't tempt me. Oh, okay, perfume. I think it's hilarious because as you guys know, I've been so into perfumes. And this is a perfume from House of Sillage, which I wasn't even saying correctly. before. It's just so funny. Wow. The more you know. When you don't know stuff, you just don't know. And then when you do, you're like, oh, hilarious. Anyway, this is the new Wonder Woman. It's the 80th anniversary. I think this might be like the third Wonder Woman collab they've done. Maybe it's only the second, but I think it might be the third one. House of Sillage perfumes are not cheap. They're pretty expensive. They're like $300, and I remember being absolutely shocked by that price. Don't get me wrong, it's still a lot of money. Totally a lot of money still, but I know that House of Sillage definitely does do sales sometimes, so there's that. But also, like, I just didn't know the world of perfumes, and like expensive perfumes just are like is no, but perfumes are just expensive, especially when you're going high end like that. So like other things in their realm are priced the same, and it just boggled my mind that perfumes could be that much. But now getting into perfumes, I'm like, yeah, it gets crazier. Okay, like, House of Sillage isn't as bad as some of these others, you know. $395 is the price we're talking about here. I know, still expensive. There are some that are like $700, $1,000. I know. Okay, anyway, top notes: pink pepper, bergamot, and davina. Heart notes: jasmine, caramel, orris, and raspberry. And then base notes: vanilla, musk, and amber. I'd give it a smell. I'm definitely, obviously, with any perfumes that are very expensive, definitely need to smell it, test it, make sure it's good. You can't just go out and buy those like willy-nilly, or at least I can't personally. Anyway, next there are some Natasha Denona Glam Face Palettes. There's a light and a dark one, I believe. It has 5 different eyeshadows in it and 2 face products. The face products are creams. There's like a blush and then a highlighter and then the 5 eyeshadows. Not tempted by these. I want these because I've been so into Natasha Denona. I know that sounds like what you want to like and buy stuff, but I do genuinely enjoy Natasha Denona's products. I really enjoy her eyeshadows, but to me, there's just like a lot of dead space in here. Like visually, it's not appealing to me. It's $59, almost $60 for this, and I would way rather spend $65 and get like a midi palette, you know? I think for some people, this might be a really great thing where they, you know, want the full face kind of all in one, but for me, it's just not it. I do appreciate that she has that little like plastic flap over the cream so that your powder products aren't getting into the creams. I like that like attention to detail, but there just feels like a lot of dead space to me. I would way rather have like a single cream blush, a single highlighter, maybe cream, maybe not, and a 5 pan from her separately. I know that price-wise, this is a decent value if we're considering all those things priced out separately. This is a savings for sure, but I don't want this. I don't personally love eyeshadows and the face products all in one. I find it kind of cheap, and I know that these products probably perform well, but I don't want it. I don't want it. I want to pick those things. I do think that the colors in both of these are beautiful though, you know, but no. I'm not gonna get them. I'm not tempted to get them. I personally I don't feel inspired to use them by looking at them, unfortunately. I can't wait to know what the next palette from Natasha Denona is gonna be. Like full eyeshadow palette, not this hybrid. Next, there's another collab with Disney and Beauty Bay. Oh my gosh, Disney. It's everywhere. They just sell their IP and rights to use their stuff to literally anyone who will ask, is what it feels like sometimes. But this is the Madness collab. It looks like 2 different eyeshadow palettes. They're kind of pastel. Like they're kind of interesting or different color stories. One is like blue with like a warm brown and a dusty purple, and then 2 like light shades. Interesting choices. The other one's like a vibrant green with like a pastel yellow and like a corally pink, 2 light blues and another coral orange. Like, okay, interesting. I love the size of these, and I think that, you know, the Disney part and the size of these palettes could be such a win. I feel like the color stories are quite interesting, which could be good, but a lot of them seem to be matte, so I don't know. I'm not convinced by this. And oh, one's Bambi, that's why. Okay. Okay, the other blue one's Bambi. This first picture, all I saw was the Mad Hatter, so I was like, what? One's Bambi, one's Alice in Wonderland. Okay. Anyway, it's okay. The Bambi one makes way more sense now, thank goodness. I was like, what? Definitely not for me. I'm not gonna pick this up. Mel Cosmetics has released their, I think this is their holiday palette. This is the Amor y Mariposas Pressed Pigment Palette. It's 20 different shades, and I kind of like this. Like, I don't think I'll pick this one up, but it has like greens and reds. There's like a purple. It's kind of warm toned with greens. I'm not sure if it says 10 pressed pigments. I'm not sure if there's actual glitters in there or not, but I mean, I think it's pretty. It's quite large. It's interesting to see them come out with something so big. It's definitely in a different style than their normal, like, long and skinny rectangle palettes. But I'd love to know what you guys think. I didn't pick up last year's holiday palettes, and I know those are very, very loved. So I'd love to know what your thoughts are on this year's if you picked those up. Like, how do you think this compares? Are you gonna pick this one up too? I'd love to know your guys' thoughts. One thing I do like looking at this picture, there's like a richness to these colors that I can appreciate. I like looking at it. I can see the theme coming through. I just don't know if it's right for me to pick up, you know? There's also lipsticks and other products as well, but I'm usually interested in the palette, so you guys know. This was a palette from ColourPop that I was kind of like, ooh. I don't think I need this, but it is pretty. This is the Quartz collection. It's a 9-pan palette. It's more cool toned, a little bit deeper though, like a darker charcoaly gray, like a darker black in there. I don't need this, right? Like, I have quite a few cool tones from ColourPop themselves, from Sydney Grace. Like, I have a lot of these tones. I've collected them over time, and I feel like realistically, like, how different is this actually from, you know, the Snake Eyes palette, from the Going Coconut's probably pretty different because that's more like neutral and brown. This looks more gray toned and taupey, but I did like seeing it. I'm definitely drawn to these types of colors, and I think it's pretty, just done before. They also put their glitters, it seems, in like separate single shadows, and I don't think there's any in the palette, and I do really appreciate that. I hope if they continue to do the glitters, since I don't want to buy those, that they do that. Like, put them in single shadow little compacts that people can buy separately if you want that, but keep the palettes without them. That would be amazing. So hopefully they keep doing that. I'm not sure if I actually talked about the Rose Quartz palette in a video. I can't remember if I did, but I picked that palette up. I'll leave the video that I did with it down below if you want to check it out, but I have really been enjoying that palette. I think it's like a pinky, mauvey, taupey type palette, gray leaning purples and mauvey pinks going on, as well as regular pinks. The shimmers in here are beautiful. There are 3 like really pretty duochrome flaky type shadows, really sparkly and beautiful. Add a lot of texture and dimension to your looks. There's also like a specific taupey bronze in here that as a metallic is just stunning. It is so stunning, so shimmery. This is her Italian formula. I checked the back. One of your guys' comments in that video said that the Italian formula tends to be better than like the 9-pans, which aren't made in Italy. And I think that's really interesting because this is my first big Huda palette that I've purchased, and I am really enjoying it. The mattes are super velvety. The way that they cover is very smooth. Yeah, they look like visually like velvet almost in swatches and on the eye and stuff. They're really quite beautiful. So I'm really happy with that palette so far. I think if you're on the fence about this, you know, definitely give some time. I'm sure this palette's gonna be out for a while, so there's probably no need to rush or anything like that. It is quite neutral. I find that the 3 duochromes that are in there are quite common duochromes. So if you have like a lot of Cleona shadows, if you have a lot of duochromes and you're only buying this palette for that, I don't think you need to do that. Like, you probably can find a single shadow in your own collection, or if you don't and you just want that, I will work on a video doing that. I promise it will be coming soon, hopefully, with different palettes, but also the Huda one. But yeah, it's really pretty. A little bit different for me. A year ago, I wouldn't have bought it. I wouldn't have been tempted, but as I've been getting into more neutral colors, I think it's kind of a really good mix of pink and some color, or, you know, neutrals with a twist a bit, but it's still quite neutral and you can get everyday looks with it. And yeah, I really like it, and I'm glad I picked it up so far. This one I thought was really cute. I was like, oh my gosh, has anyone done an e.l.f. collaboration? Not like e.l.f. the makeup brand, but like e.l.f. the movie for Christmas before? I'm not sure, but I thought it was cute. This is the I Heart Revolution and e.l.f. holiday collection. There's like this maple syrup, what is that? Bubble bath. Like, I thought that was just so cute. All these things seem very giftable, you know, during the season of holidays and Christmas. There are some like swirly lip glosses. That's interesting, kind of juvenile to me, but hey, if you like them, go for it. There's some like eye glistens, which I think are like liquid eyeshadows. Those look kind of interesting, but I've been trying to stay away for the most part from liquid eyeshadows. I did get some from Lethal, but they're really sparkly. So other than that, I'm trying to stick away from liquid shadows. But also there's like this big palette. It's quite large, has like a pop of yellow. I don't know. The color story is a little all over the place. Like I think they could have cut it down. And there's something about these big palettes sometimes that just feel like they threw every color in there. And I'm not saying that's even true. I'm just saying my eye gets overwhelmed. Nothing seems special in the palette. And I just get fatigued and I'm just like, ah, whatever. And I feel like that's part of what curation does, is it tells your eye where to focus, where to go, and you never get tired. And I think that's really important with like design in general, but we can apply that design to makeup palettes and color stories and playing with depths and contrasts and all of that. You know what I mean? And I feel like it could use a little design personally. So that's how I feel. There's also another eyeshadow palette type thing. Not interesting enough for me to buy anything, but I did think it was cute. Next from Nabla, these are the 2 Reasons Cream Colors and Glassy Balm. So these can be for the lips and cheeks. Okay, that's what I was trying to get to. So they're like a gloss and a balm product. One has more color, one's a little bit more glassy, and I think supposed to be more like a highlighter type thing. Interesting. I'm definitely intrigued. My eyebrow has gone up, but I'm not sure if I'll pick them up. These are one of those things that I'll like keep my eye on, maybe watch a review on, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna like immediately go out and pick them up. Like it's not that much of a desire. This from Lawless is kind of pretty. This is the Glam one eyeshadow palette. I think they have that in like a bigger size, like it says it's the mini of it. It's mostly matte though, like looking at it more, it's mostly matte, so I probably won't pick that up. There's also a mini set of the Filler Lip Plumper Trio. I've been wanting to try those for a while, so that's kind of intriguing, but I get always sucked in. I was just editing the video about the Sephora kits and like breaking them down and all that. And so many of the products I'm talking about in that video are lip products and like the lip product kits, and I get excited about those, but for someone who wears like more than not the same lip color over and over, I'm not sure how good of a value lip kits are actually for me, even if I'm intrigued by the formula of specific ones that come out. I think it's better for me to just like pick the one lip product and use that, or at least have a plan for it. I don't know. I just am wary about tricking myself into the value of, you know, the lip kits when I'm not sure how much value they actually give me, you know? But a little tempting, not gonna lie. There's some new stuff from Lady Gaga. This is the Casa Gaga Italian Glam collection. I honestly almost thought this was the M Cosmetics stuff. I was like, oh, more stuff from M Cosmetics because it looks like those highlighters, at least packaging wise, because it's like white and gold. This has a lot of stuff though. There's lip glazes, there's a mini lipstick set, there's a gel powder all over rouge. Oh, the Tutti gel powder highlighter. Now that is exciting, but it is $42. Kind of expensive. It does look more luxe though, I'll give it that. I'm happy to see this. You know, this is feeling like a bit of a vision. I don't know if it's exactly maybe what I picture Lady Gaga, but I do think that this looks nice at least, so that's good. Like it looks a little more luxe. I hope that compact's heavy, like that's how I imagine it to be in my head. This is just one color, it's just a universal color, so I don't know if that would work for me, but I think that it's pretty. And I liked the last release, that palette that came out. I didn't like it enough to like buy it, but I'm excited to see that maybe she's refining a few things. I hope that it stays on this trajectory for her brand. But it's pretty interesting to think, like, why wasn't Lady Gaga's brand in Sephora immediately? Like, I don't know why she didn't partner that way. I know that she did stuff with like Amazon and like being Amazon exclusive or something like that. And it's just interesting why. I'm sure it's money, but I'm like, depending on what you want from your brand, I definitely think like going into like makeup stores is the way to go over Amazon. Next, this is from Glam. Oh, wow. Okay. There are 2 little palettes and it looks like these have some like multi-chromes in them, which is pretty interesting. They're $13 a piece, so very affordable. The swatches look okay. Like they look okay. There's also some liquid shadows and those are $5.50 a piece. You know, this first promo photos or the promo photos I'm seeing, I definitely feel like they understand what it's like to like get a good photo, especially for those price points. It's very tempting. I don't know if I'm gonna actually pick anything up, but I think it looks good in that photo. It is enticing. I think they've done that. It looks like Artist Couture is coming out with some liquid eyeshadow. What the hell is going on with liquid eyeshadows? Do you guys remember when I was into liquid eyeshadows? It was when ColourPop did the Moonlight Magic, I think is what the collection was, and they came out with all those liquid eyeshadows. I was so obsessed with them, and then they never came out with more, really. They were just like, oh, I don't think a lot of people liked them because they can get kind of flaky, and I just remember being so obsessed with them, and a lot of brands were not coming out with them. And now here we are. I've just mentioned like 3 or 4 in this one video. What's going on? And I'm kind of like over them. But these are liquid shadows. They're all really beautiful, like bronzy, neutral type colors. I like them. I love, like, this picture of this eye, she just looks like she doesn't give a shit. And she has shimmer all the way up to her brow bone. Like, I love that vibe. I love that vibe. This is from Beauty Bakery. It's a little eyeshadow palette called Sweet Potato Pie. It's only $14. That's a great price point. I think this is kind of like a sneak peek, so I don't know if we have a ton of other photos of it yet. But that's interesting. I don't know. I mean, it looks like it's a lot of mattes though. That's the only thing. I'm not really super into a full matte palette. Like I'll tolerate a few more mattes than I used to, but I like the shimmers, you know, you know me. I thought I would mention this thing from Morphe. This is a part of that like Mickey Mouse collection, the Disney collection. I told you Disney works with every single makeup company. It has Mickey on the outside, and inside I think this is just an interesting color story. This is something that I totally see the inspiration of Mickey, right? Like the yellow, the red, the black, the like white. I just don't like these colors together. So this is an example of like, I think they nailed like the inspo overall, although those 2 reds kind of look similar and the 2 yellows look kind of similar. I don't know, they could have played with that. But what I'm trying to say is color story does look like Mickey. Do we want to wear it? Do you want to wear it? I don't. So this is like, okay, like part of it, but I also want to like think of me putting it on my eyeballs. You know what I mean? So it's tough. It's like a whole balance to do. So I really wish, I'm looking at like the close-up of it, I think they could have played around with, like I said, like a lighter golden yellow, because that could be used on the lid or as like inner corner highlight, and then really punched in that bright matte yellow. And then same with the reds. I think they could have done something like a deep dark burgundy and then done like a really pretty shimmer that's like that classic Mickey red. Like I think they could have just played a little bit more with that. So anyway, not gonna buy it, just thought I'd bring it up because I see what they're trying to do for sure. This Revolution Pro and Marilyn Monroe thing, these little quads, this is what I like. I think Angelica has talked about how the ones that she had, she bought some Revolution ones that kind of look like this, which these kind of look like Bobbi Brown shadows because for a while they did like a holiday collection that looked kind of shattered like this. Anyway, it kind of looks like MAC too, but anyway, this little quad, hi, the little silver on the bottom, I'm eyeballing it real hard. I really like it. I think it's pretty, but I do remember Angelica saying that they, like the shadow she had stunk. So I'm not sure if these are actually going to be like good quality, but the eyeshadow palettes are like, these quads are $15 a piece. So I really hope they are. I'm going to definitely look out for those. I don't know what it is, but this is giving me like, I don't love like the outer packaging's kind of cheapy to me. We don't need all that. Just please, why did you put all those pearls on the outside? But it looks pretty luxe. I don't know. I get like a luxe high-end feeling from them, so I'm intrigued. I want to look at some indie stuff. I know something I do want, and when I'm filming this, it's coming up very soon, so I gotta be on the ball, but from Glaminatrix, there's a Silent Night palette coming out. It's quite small. It's only 8 shades, so I love that. It's indie. There's so many beautiful shimmers. I think it's like an even ratio of shimmers to mattes, and I can see a lot of 2 like eyeshadow looks, like use one of the mattes, use one of the shimmers for this, and I love Christmas so much, so I think I'm gonna pick this one up. It'll be my first Glaminatrix purchase also, so I don't know. I think I'm gonna get this one. I think it's really pretty. I've seen a lot of swatches of the Glaminatrix shadows and the sparkles, and they're beautiful, so I'm excited to get something from the brand. I don't think I've talked about this, but this was another palette that I thought was really beautiful. I don't think I did, but this is from Alien Cosmetics, the Fall Magic palette. I really liked this one. I thought it was so pretty. There's something about the tones in here that I think they've done it really well. It's a lot of mattes for me, but the shimmers that are in there seem to be making up for all that. So that's another one. I don't know if I'm gonna immediately pick it up, but I do think it's really beautiful. This is another one too, the Ace Beauté Tropical Vibes palette. Very green, kind of grungy. I'm getting more like fall type stuff, not necessarily super tropical from it, but I think it's really pretty. I feel like Ace Beauté does a lot of like very heavy color palettes, as in like if they have like a purple palette, a lot of it's going to be purple with some pops, but it's gonna be a lot of purple. Like I have the Oceanic palette, I think is the one from them that's like blue and green. So I'm definitely intrigued. I might be getting this in PR, so if I do, I'll probably try to do some type of video or something, show it somewhere. I'll do my best. Another brand I thought I would give a shout out and I wanna try is Unique Beauty. They do these little 6 pans that I think are really beautiful. And I've seen them in the past, but I've never quite done it, like purchased anything. They're a UK brand. And I'm intrigued. This is one that's probably gonna be on my list to try in the new year and coming up. But they have a lot of these different mini palettes and it looks like they have some really beautiful textures. I think the color stories are interesting. I don't necessarily love the outer packaging, but I love the insides. I cannot deny that the inside of the palettes with those 6 pans, I love again how small they are really beautiful. I'm very intrigued. So if you know anything about that brand, if you've tried them, let me know your thoughts. I'd love to know. I'm trying to see what else. I feel like, I've kind of kept up decently well. Like there were definitely some things, but I've done a decent job keeping up. So I have my eye out for a few things, not too much. I think it's like this kind of perfect amount where it's enough to be like still staying excited about some new things, but enough time for me to use the things I have, love the things I have, love some of the newer things I just got. So I'm planning on doing some type of video for Black Friday. So that will be coming up, but it's gonna be pretty personal to me and like what I'm potentially looking at, which I'm trying to be lower key, I guess, than I was last year. So let me know if you know of any good Black Friday sales, if you're already starting to see those sneak peeked and whatnot. I'd love to know. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're doing great, having a great day. I really appreciate you being here. And other than that, I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.